This is the Anker Powerhouse 757, a portable power station with 1,229 watt-hours of capacity and 1,500 watts of output, and allowing for surges of up to 2.4 kilowatts. It comes in at $1,099, making it 89 cents per watt-hour, which is a better value than a couple of the larger options available when only considering the battery capacity. For example, I've already reviewed the Anker Powerhouse 767, which is $2,000, and I've been using that setup to power my studio for the past couple months, and I'll give you an update on that whole setup at the end of this video. I figure the differences between the Anker Powerhouse 757 and the 767 would be pretty minor based on just the naming scheme, but they're actually pretty different. Other than the difference in capacity and maximum output, the smaller 757 doesn't have any wheels, though it doesn't really need them because it only weighs 45 pounds. But it only has a maximum solar input of 300 watts, and it doesn't have any Wi-Fi or Bluetooth options to monitor your equipment remotely. That doesn't mean it's bad or I don't like it though. I actually think it's a pretty decent value for $1,100. And as a bonus, Anker also sent out their 100 watt solar panel, the Anker 625, and combined they make an extremely useful emergency kit. I really enjoy how Anker has designed the Powerhouse line of equipment. It's very modern and sleek looking without being gaudy and doesn't leave much room for like fingerprints and stuff, and has a nice flat surface up top, which works great as a well-ventilated laptop table. The little charging bay door in the back is a little bit difficult to open up with just your fingers if you have short fingernails, but you can do it. Like I said earlier, it only weighs 44 pounds compared to the 767's 67 pounds. It does have two nice handles that you can use to either grab it or carry it with two people, and big rubber feet to prevent it slipping from wherever you put it. The 757 also has a drop-proof design, claiming that it's impact resistant, shock-proof, and anti-UV and flame retardant, so you shouldn't have any issues, but you also shouldn't be worried about being denied a warranty claim if anything ever does happen. As with all their other power stations, the warranty is hassle-free and it's 5 years, but the power station is rated to last for 10 years. Moving on, it can charge at 1,000 watts of AC power, taking it from 0 to full in about an hour and a half, due to the LiFePO4 battery inside. The way I've been using it, I just set it on top of my 767 and extra battery and just charge it off of the AC output of the 767. And then whenever I need it, it's already full, so I can just pick it up, grab it, and go. And it's all still charging off of solar because that's what charges the 767. For those times when you're out of power and away from an outlet though, the 100 watt solar panel is one of my favorite designs of solar panel that I own so far, because it also has a built-in USB-A port and a built-in USB-C port. It's not 100 watts of power delivery, even though it is a 100 watt panel. You'll still only get 15 watts of it, but you can charge your phone in an emergency if all you have is this panel and you don't have another power station handy. This panel also has one of these alignment dots that you can use to make sure your panel is pointing directly toward the sun where it will work most effectively, and several kickstands to make pointing it up and leveling it out a lot easier. I like the inclusion of these pouches. You can keep the main cable for the panel as well as some extra USB cables you might want to use with it all packed away in there. It also comes with a cable to connect 3 of these 100 watt solar panels to the 300 watt input of the Anker Powerhouse 757. You can use other solar panels to charge it, but you could run into issues if you don't pay close attention to the maximum voltage, which is 30 volts. When I tried to set up my Powerhouse 767 with a string of slightly higher voltage than what it was rated for, it gave me an overvoltage warning and it just wouldn't work. I assume the same thing would happen on the 757, but I haven't tried that yet. You can use any solar panel that is between 11 and 30 volts with the right cables and adapters. This one uses an XT60 input. This Powerhouse can also be used as a UPS. It has a 20 millisecond switchover time, and it has 3 AC outlets with a ground pin, 3 AC outlets without, 4 USB-A ports, 2 USB-C ports capable of 100 watts and 60 watts, a 12 volt 10 amp car socket, an onboard light, and a power saving switch. The power saving mode will force the Powerhouse to turn off the AC and DC ports if the output is less than 10 watts continuously for 1 hour, which usually would indicate all the plugged in devices have reached their full charge. If you have a low power device that you're trying to power for a long period of time, I would just leave that switch off. If you wanted to get the 757 with a single 100 watt solar panel as your kit, this panel would probably struggle to charge this unit from 0 to 100% in a single day, being that you'll only see around 85 to 95 watts of power in the most ideal conditions. So I would recommend at least 2. They do cost around $329 on Amazon. And if you get 3 of them, it should charge this to full in about 5 hours of full sun. For the update on my 767 studio setup, I use the Powerhouse 767 with the 760 expansion battery for 4 kilowatts of power storage. This one on behind me is always on, providing power to my studio for things like my battery station, power strip for stuff like my laptop, charging my Aputure MC Pro kit, and the input to my second Powerhouse 767. I keep all my studio lights plugged into the second 767, and I turn the AC power on and off to that, so it just turns all the studio lights on and off. So it's kind of like my power switch. So if that first Powerhouse and battery ever run out of power, then it will continue to run down its own 2 kilowatt battery to keep my lights on. The whole thing is charged by a solar array that usually generates around 850 watts with a combination of panels from various manufacturers. As long as it stays sunny for just a few hours each day, I can continuously power my studio without ever turning my lights off, and it won't ever affect my electricity bill. If you want to grab any of the things I talked about here, there's links to all of that in the description of this video. And you should be subscribed if you aren't already. There's more videos like this coming soon. Peace.